would lead to.
Oh, no, there's nothing there. There's nothing there. I never wanted to work with him.
I'll buy your masters. You ready? I will buy your masters.
The tension between Big Meech and 50 Cent has reached a breaking point, and the internet is locked in. What started as a partnership that brought one of hip-hop's most legendary street empires to television has now turned into an explosive feud, with allegations flying and money at the center of it all. According to emerging reports, Big Meech allegedly went live from behind bars, calling out 50 Cent directly and making one thing clear: ain't no BMF money for you. Those words have since echoed through every corner of social media, sparking chaos among fans, insiders, and industry figures alike. The rumor mill is spinning, suggesting that Meech was responding to claims that 50 Cent attempted to sell the rights to the BMF television franchise, valued at over $112 million, without proper authorization from the Flannery family.
Rick Ross knew perfectly damn well what he was doing and what that was.
For years, 50 Cent has been celebrated for turning BMF into a global phenomenon. The show brought renewed attention to the rise of the Black Mafia family, a story rooted in the real-life legacy of Demetrius Big Meech Flannery and his brother Terry Southwest T. But now, that same legacy seems to be caught in a battle for ownership, authenticity, and respect. Sources close to the situation allege that Meech feels betrayed, claiming that his name and story were used beyond the original scope of their agreement. What began as a mutually beneficial collaboration has reportedly spiraled into a dispute about who truly controls the empire, the man who lived it or the man who broadcasted it. The alleged IG Live moment, though unverified, has already taken on a life of its own. Clips claiming to show Meech's voice calling out 50 have circulated widely, with captions like "BMF ain't for sale" and "You don't play with family business." Whether the footage is authentic or not, the timing couldn't be worse for 50, who's been teasing multiple spin-offs and movie deals based on the BMF universe. Fans are now questioning whether those projects will ever see the light of day. Even industry analysts have weighed in, suggesting that any fallout between Meech and 50 could derail millions in future revenue. Not just for the TV show, but for its entire brand ecosystem. Behind the scenes, reports suggest that Meech's frustration has been building for months. Allegedly, he and members of his inner circle have been uneasy about how 50 Cent and stars have handled the storytelling, portraying certain events and characters in ways that some feel distort the real essence of BMF. Others believe it's not just about creative control, but cold, hard cash.
How do you feel about the rapper Rick Ross having the same name?
Well, the fact that he stole my name, not that we had the same name, he actually stole my whole story, my identity, the whole thing. You know, he built his career off of my legacy.
If 50 truly attempted to sell or license parts of the franchise for 9 figures without the family's direct consent, it could open the door to lawsuits, injunctions, or even criminal claims of misrepresentation. The situation has fans divided. On one hand, many believe 50 deserves credit for revitalizing the BMF story and turning it into one of television's biggest street sagas. On the other, people are calling for accountability, insisting that Meech, the man who lived that life and paid the ultimate price, should have full control over his narrative. This isn't just about TV anymore. It's about respect, legacy, and the invisible line between inspiration and exploitation. This isn't the first time tension has flared between Big Meech's camp and 50 Cent. For months, whispers have circulated that communication between the two has grown strained, especially after certain decisions regarding BMF's creative direction and financial handling. Insiders say the friction started when 50 began discussing expansion plans without consulting the Flannery family directly. Rumors of documentaries, international spin-offs, and potential merchandising deals surfaced, moves that reportedly made Meech's team uneasy. The alleged $112 million figure mentioned in connection with the sale only intensified suspicions, leaving many to believe that 50 might be cashing out on a legacy that isn't entirely his to monetize. What makes this situation even more complex is how much personal investment 50 has poured into the project. From the beginning, he positioned himself as the bridge between the streets and Hollywood, transforming Meech's story into prestige television. The first season of BMF was praised for its authenticity, largely due to the involvement of Lil Meech, Big Meech's real-life son, who starred as his father. But as the show gained mainstream traction, so did the politics. Some reports claim that 50 began prioritizing network interests over the original intent of honoring the legacy, while others believe the family felt sidelined as the money and power behind the scenes shifted.
For Lil Meech, I don't feel bad for no grown man on this planet. Like, I'm a grown man. I gotta feel bad for another grown man. Like, you a grown man too. Asking for my sympathy for you be alright. Oh, and
Then came the rumors of 50's alleged plans to sell the BMF franchise outright to a major streaming platform. Sources say the deal was projected to surpass $100 million, potentially making it one of the biggest TV franchise sales in recent history. But when word reached certain circles connected to the Flannerys, everything changed. Meech allegedly viewed the move as an outright betrayal, not only because of the money involved, but because of what it represented, a separation of the real BMF from its Hollywood interpretation. In his reported live stream, Meech allegedly made his stance clear, saying that nobody eats off this name without clearance. Those words, raw and direct, sent shockwaves through the industry. Since then, fans have been scouring for clues. Some have noticed that Lil Meech has been unusually quiet online, sparking rumors of internal conflict. Others claim 50 Cent's recent social media posts, which include cryptic captions about loyalty and betrayal, are subtle jabs in response to the controversy. Industry observers believe that if true, the rift could have long-term implications. Not only could it affect future BMF seasons, but it could also ripple through 50's broader television empire, including his relationships with networks and investors who rely on his credibility as a producer. From a business standpoint, the issue boils down to intellectual property rights. While 50 legally controls the show and its production, the BMF name and legacy are deeply tied to real individuals and real events. That gray area creates a legal and moral dilemma. Can a man profit from another man's life story if that man doesn't consent? And if he does, at what point does it stop being storytelling and start being exploitation? Those questions now hang heavy over 50's next moves, as fans, legal experts, and industry insiders await clarification on whether the alleged sale even took place. While the drama unfolds publicly, insiders say the fallout between Big Meech and 50 Cent could have been avoided if communication had remained consistent. According to close associates, the two once shared mutual admiration. Meech reportedly respected 50's business mindset, and 50 often credited Meech's real-life legacy as the foundation for some of hip-hop's greatest hustler stories. However, over time, cracks began to form.
We'll burn it all down if you piss him off. His own sometimes, too. You know, he'll cancel BMF to prove a point. Regardless of
Behind closed doors, disagreements allegedly arose over creative decisions, portrayals of key figures, and financial transparency regarding show profits. Those issues reportedly intensified after 50 launched spin-offs and merchandising deals that used the BMF brand name without clear mention of financial distribution to the original family. In the hip-hop world, loyalty is currency, and that's what makes this feud hit so deep. For decades, BMF represented more than just a criminal organization. It symbolized ambition, unity, and the power of turning nothing into something. That same spirit is what made the BMF series resonate with millions. But when legacy and ownership clash, things get personal fast. People familiar with the situation claim that Meech's anger stems not from greed, but from principle. His message, "No BMF money for you," wasn't just about dollars. It was about drawing a line in the sand. It was about saying, you can't profit from the name that came from my struggle without giving proper credit. Meanwhile, 50 Cent has reportedly been trying to downplay the controversy, focusing instead on his upcoming projects. Sources close to him insist that he hasn't done anything improper, and that all deals tied to the BMF franchise were cleared through the proper legal channels. Some even argue that Meech's alleged comments may have been taken out of context or fueled by misinformation from third parties. Still, the optics are difficult to ignore. When someone like Big Meech, whose influence extends from the streets to the culture at large, speaks publicly against a major entertainment figure, people pay attention. Social media continues to amplify the tension. Fans have turned the feud into a spectacle, with memes, debates, and theories flooding every platform. Some are siding with 50, arguing that he's simply a businessman doing what businessmen do. Others are calling for a boycott of BMF until the family receives proper acknowledgement and compensation. The hashtags #justice, for Meech, and #BMF belongs to the streets have been trending, showing how much the situation has resonated beyond entertainment circles.
Bad guy out of all of this.
Who's the bad guy? I don't think there's a bad guy.
No, yes it is. Yeah, Vlad, let's talk about it.
I think Meech is the one that made a mistake.
No.
No? You think 50?
No.
Lil Meech.
No.
Who getting now?
Rick Ross knew perfectly damn well what he was doing.
This isn't just another celebrity disagreement. It's become a cultural moment that speaks to larger themes of ownership, integrity, and legacy in Black storytelling. In the end, both men have reputations to protect. 50 Cent, known for his relentless confidence in strategic moves, can't afford to appear exploitative in the eyes of the public. Big Meech, on the other hand, remains one of the most respected figures in hip-hop street history, and his word carries weight even from behind prison walls. How this dispute resolves could shape the narrative around both men for years to come. One as the businessman who commercialized the streets, and the other as the legend who refused to let his name be bought. As of now, no official statements have been made by either 50 Cent or the Flannery family regarding the alleged live video or the rumored $112 million sale. But insiders are saying that behind-the-scenes negotiations may already be taking place to de-escalate the situation before it gets out of control. There's speculation that lawyers for both parties are reviewing contracts to determine whether any rights were violated. If those rumors are true, the legal implications could be massive, not only for the BMF show, but for future entertainment projects that draw from real-life stories. It could even set a precedent for how Hollywood adapts narratives inspired by actual events involving living figures. Still, the cultural fallout might be even greater than the legal one. The BMF series wasn't just a TV show, it became a symbol of resilience, ambition, and the blurred line between street hustle and corporate power. To see that legacy being dragged into controversy is disheartening for many fans who grew up respecting both Meech and 50 as pioneers in their respective arenas. For the streets, this feud represents something bigger, a clash between authenticity and business. The man who lived the story versus the man who sold it to the world. Both played a role in keeping BMF alive, but now that shared vision has turned into a battle for control. The irony is that BMF as a show was built on loyalty, family, and power, the same values now being tested between its real-life counterparts. What once looked like a perfect alliance between street legend and business mogul is now unraveling in real time, with millions watching from the sidelines. Some believe reconciliation is still possible, especially given the long-term benefits of collaboration. Others think it's too late, that trust has already been broken beyond repair. For now, all eyes are on the next move. Will 50 address the rumors head-on? Will Meech's team release an official statement clarifying his position? Or will this feud quietly fade into the background once the media cycle shifts? Whatever happens, one thing is clear. The power dynamics behind BMF are changing, and both men are fighting to define what comes next. At its core, this story isn't just about contracts or television rights. It's about the ongoing struggle between art, authenticity, and ownership. The BMF name carries weight because it's built on lived experience, sacrifice, and ambition. And for someone like Big Meech, that legacy isn't a product to be sold. It's a story that deserves to be told with integrity. Whether this clash ends with reconciliation or rivalry, one thing's for sure: the world is watching closely. And the next chapter in the BMF saga might be the most dramatic one yet. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to Celeb Coded for more exclusive breakdowns, real-time updates, and the stories that shape hip-hop's biggest power moves.